And the Daisy Punch, I think, is one of the coolest things that was in this catalog, and I loved it immediately. And of course, it sold out really quick. It's back in stock right now, and I didn't go anywhere. I just didn't keep that camera on because all you're going to look at is my belly, which we don't need to have on camera. So when I stand up to work, it just is not a pretty picture of me. So anywho, I'm still here. All right. So let's get started. I guess this is what's crooked, not the camera. I made a sample of this afternoon so that you can see what we're doing before we get to it, because sometimes it's a little, it's hard, it's tough to tell. Yeah, Dolly, it just came back. It's been on back order for a long time. It wasn't supposed to be till the 31st, but it is in the stores now, in the Stampin' Up! Sites now. Okay, so you can see that you can kind of curl them. I used this for a sympathy card, and I didn't curl them, and they still looked really cool. I liked them that way too. I want you to get these close. This one is kind of shiny in the center, and I used embossing, the clear embossing powder. This one is just the stamp, but you could also just stamp and then use your Wink of Stella. So let's see what we're going to do, how I get these to look like this. First, I'm going to do this next set so that you can see daisies or brown-eyed Susans, or, you know, those kind of cone, I think they're called cone flowers. I'm not really going to make the cone flower because they kind of have a really pointy, I'm saying the wrong name, I know I am. I sound like I'm talking like I know what a garden is. My husband takes care of our vegetables, or we would have nothing. I would go to the store. But anyway, you know those flowers, you see them on the side of the road? At least you do here. So we're going to make them this color. This is Berry Burst. So I've got my card base out of Berry Burst, and I'm using the simple sketch that I've used a zillion times already. It's actually this one that I'm using, and remember we used it for this card? But I'm using these same measurements, skip the circle and skip the diagonal and all that stuff. I'll put the sketch up for you when I do the recording, when I post the recording. But anyway, it's the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card base, and then the 4 by 5 1/4. And this one is from, oh shoot, what is this paper called? No, you're not Coffee Break. It's all these really great colors. It's all those kind that are all the different in colors this time. They're really cool. I can't think of their names. Again, I'll post it for you. And I'm going to grab my snail. I had somebody ask me what my favorite adhesives were, and I had to make a really long list because it depends on what I'm doing. But I really have to say, I am loving the idea that I have gone all Stampin' Up! It just makes it so much simpler for me. I don't have to worry about it. And I love all this kind of whitewashy look, so I don't really want to cover it up. So I'm going to go with a smaller piece on the top instead of what I used on this sketch. So this one is actually, and I don't remember right at the top of my head, 3 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to kind of offset it a little bit, and this is where my daisies are going to go and my stamping and all of that. So now I'm ready to work on my daisies, now that I got my card basically put together. So you're going to stamp, and I like the idea of stamping it with the same color, color on color. This one is the Daffodil Delight cardstock with Daffodil Delight ink on it. So this is going to be the Berry Burst on the Berry Burst cardstock. And you're going to stamp 2 of the stamps, okay? And you notice with the daisy, there isn't one of those little notches or anything. It's because it is completely symmetrical and it fits in the punch any way you put it in. So that's really cool. Some people seem to be having trouble getting it out of the punch. I haven't, but you know, there's always a first time, and especially it'll happen tonight just cause. And you're going to stamp that. And I'm going to do another one. So now I have, this is going to make one daisy. Okay. And then I'm also going to do the center before I do anything else to it. Now I could, there isn't, you're not using a punch for that, of course. So I'm going to use this one. And I only need to do it on one, the one on the top. So what's cool about this is if you mess it up, that ends up being the one on the bottom. Because it is a little tricky to kind of line it up. My hair is going to be in the way, I'm sure. All right. Oops, I noticed I made the light up. Oh, much better. Okay, so now I have my daisies are stamped. And now I'm ready to bring in my punch. And you're going to tip your punch over. I find this one's kind of tough to squeeze. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just getting weak. And you're just going to line it up. Let's bring you down a little bit so that you can see better. You're just going to get in here. And you line up the punch. And so what I do with it, because I feel like it's hard to squeeze, I get it started and then put it down and then push. And I messed up this one. You know what's really cool about it though? You just start again. So, and again, it's stuck. Cool. I'm glad I did that. You just kind of pull it out. If it's really stuck, you can punch your way out until you get out. You just kind of get mad at it. And it's because you have all these little petals, and if they curl at all, it doesn't work. So since I messed it up, I gotta do it one more time. I did about 7 of these this afternoon, didn't mess up a one. But I always do it when I'm in front of you guys. All right, let's try again, see if I can do it better this time. Whoops, I need my middle. Getting better at the middle. Now, if I wanted to do that clear embossing, if you came last week when I did the heat embossing class, you're going to emboss with this stamp. I'm going to come back and do it after. I just want to get these daisies together. And then I'll show you how to do the heat embossing in this color. Much better. There's one. Yeah, this punch is definitely, I feel like it needs to be oiled for me. I think it's just a tricky punch. Some of them I can punch really easy. Either that or I'm getting old. Okay, so there's your 2 flowers. They're going to make one daisy. What you're going to do is start with the bottom one, and you're going to take your your bone folder, and you're just going to gently curl your petals. The one that I messed up, I'm going to show you what can happen. If you pull too hard, you pull the petal off. The world does not come to an end. You just quick do he loves me not. But when you put it together, you can glue it back. Okay, but don't get carried away. You don't have to pull that hard. It's just a gentle curl. Kind of, again, like that ribbon that you do for balloons, that corrugated ribbon. There's one. Kind of bend them up a little. Then you take this one. You could spritz this if you were worried that it's not holding. I kind of just talk to it. And then one of the things I found is you really need a good glue to hold it. I've been using the fine tip. It works pretty well and it's a little forgiving, because what you have to do, you want it to really hold, but you might have to adjust it. So you put them down and you kind of spin it so that they alternate. That's why the fine tip works pretty well. And then you have it. And now it looks really real. And it's really dimensional. Now, I didn't use the heat embossing on this one, so I would probably grab my Wink of Stella and add a little bit to the center. There are also some really cool gems in the catalog that fit in the center of the daisy. They're faceted gems. They look really cool. Isn't that neat? I love it. Okay, then we can make another one. I'll do the heat embossing with this one. So we're going to bring our crazy. Let's do a different color so that you can see a different color ink on it instead of the same tone on tone. Let's see, we can do, let's do some gray maybe. Black. Ooh, let's try white. I wonder how that would look. Let's try the white. I don't use that enough. All right, that's kind of cool. All right, now I'm going to use, I just have to get ready. This emboss, this actually white dries a little bit slower than some of the other Stampin' Up! Stamp inks. But remember, if you're not using Versamark, you got to go quick. I could use Versamark, but I'm going to use the white. And I'm going to use this one. And I got to get ready. So, to get ready first. So I want my paper that's going to go on the bottom. My scrap paper. And my heat tool is here. And I'm just going to turn my heat tool on so that it's getting ready before I actually need it. So that's going to sit right there. I'm going to stamp. And sprinkle. Now, see, it's kind of got a little bit on the sides here. It's not going to matter because I'm going to be punching. And it kind of looks neat, actually, with the white. All right. Let me turn it off so we don't get noise in our ear. See what it did? It's kind of, it's shiny. Maybe you can see the shiny. Come on, get shiny. It is a little. I'm not sure it's worth the effort, but it's a different look. And you want your flowers to look a little bit different because they are all different, right? The only reason I don't like white is it always gets all over me. It's just messier. Okay, now we're ready to punch. I'm going to get rid of this. Remember I made that big mess last time? Yep, I did. And we're going to punch. Come on, you can get in there, little things. What's going on? The embossing made it kind of bend a little. There. And again, you just kind of line her up. All right, and same deal. This is the bottom one. It's kind of, there is a shimmer to it. It's not super wonderful. It's okay. And your glue, and then pop it in. And kind of twist till you get it so that you're nice and even. There. So now, even though we did the same colors, you get really different looking flowers. You're not sticking. What is wrong with you? Okay, now we're ready to get our card going. So this time, instead of the thin branch, which is what I used on the yellow one, I'm going to use the stocky looking one. I'm going to use that one. And some old olive. And you kind of have to figure out where are your flowers going to go so that you can get the branches in where you want them. So I'm going to put this one this way. And then I'm going to kind of go off to an angle this way. All right. And I think I'm going to bring some leaves in. And you have, what's interesting about the leaves, you have a two-step leaf if you want to. So what I'm going to do with those is find another block. And I'm going to do the solid leaf first, and then see this one has the detail. And I'm going to do the same kind of thing. We did this on several stamps. We haven't done it in a long time though. The stamping off. So I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap paper. I'm going to ink this up, make sure I have good coverage. And I'm going to stamp off on here. And then bring this one in and add that. Now I'm going to bring the little leaf and I'm not going to stamp off, and I'm going to stamp on top, and I'm going to get the layered look. And maybe the leaf is a little big for there. I don't hate it. It's okay. I've also got these cute little spriggy spiral thingies, so I'm going to grab those, and I'm going to go down in here with them. Same thing. Then I'm going to bring my daisies in. I'm thinking that leaf might be a little big, but you know what? I can live with them. It's all right. You've also got other great daisies that can go with this too. Not these big ones, but you've got these, and these are the two-step as well. So you've got the solid daisy, and then the detail. So the same kind of things. If you want to use the same color ink, you just stamp off once with this, and then don't stamp off and put this on top, and you'll get that darker the way this one is. Okay, now I'm gonna put this on. Whoops, I'm gonna put my sentiment on before I attach it too. And I really like the Your Thoughtfulness Brightens My Day, which is what I used on the other one, and it just goes down here. Thank you is kind of cool, but it wouldn't fit on this. I could do thank you. We'll do that after. I can do thank you another place. And I will, just a sec. So I'm going to put this one on, and I'm going to use this, the same old olive. Am I? Oh, no, let's use berry. And I tipped this a little. I don't like it. Let's try again. A little crooked, I can live. And then I'm going to bring these little doohickeys in. And you can do a couple different things. You can, I like them flat. I can add dimensionals, but I kind of want them flat to the paper. So what I'm going to do is grab my snail and put this down first. And then I used tear tape because I really want these to stick, and they would be easy to fall off in the envelope or on a package. So I'm going to use the tear tape. You could use the fuse. The snail won't be stiff enough to hold. I could use the liquid again. And you've got options, but and then you kind of squish them in. Now, because I still think these stems look short for the size of these daisies, I could have stamped 2 of those and just made it go up more. But the daisies look so cool. There's also, if you remember, in some of our other stamps, we had longer stems if you wanted longer stems. So there's that, and they kind of overlap each other. And I really like them. Now, remember I said if we wanted to add the thank you to it? We definitely could do that. Let me just pick up a little bit here so I don't have a mess. Isn't it cool, Dolly? And really super, super easy to do with a group of people because the punch does all the work, you know, and just kind of scrunch them in. You could do an entire vase. I've seen on Pinterest and on some of the Stampin' Up! Boards, people have actually put them onto wire stems and put them in a vase. They look really cool. They really do, especially like as party favor kind of thing. Okay, so let's say you really like the thank you. And I'm going to do the same kind of thing, but I'm going to use this one. I'm going to stamp on it because I don't really want to detract from all the colors. I tend to stay matchy-matchy kind of thing. The thank you is really cool, though. I like this thank you. I've used it a couple times on other things, too. It's just such a pretty thank you. And then I'm going to bring my trimmer in. And I find if I stamp first and then trim, I usually don't get in too much trouble. Sometimes I do. It's going to be tricky with those flowers up there. That's what you get for using scrap paper. Sometimes you have a little divot in there that you didn't really want. Now, if I had used a bigger piece of paper, I would then pop it in my usual banner punch. But I have a feeling I'm going to lose the whole thank you if I do that. I'm worried about how much it's going to do. I'll be brave and do it with you, but normally I would leave myself a little bit more room. I think I might lose part of my U. Yep, I did. Pretend I didn't. Pretend I didn't lose the U. And then this is just going to go right up here. Okay. There's my U back. And you could do that too. You could bring your ribbon in and put your thank you on top of a ribbon. Lots of different ways that you can foof this up if you want, or just leave it like this and stamp thank you on the inside and you are good to go. So you just bring this back. Okay, who took the berry first? Here we are. And we have saved our card. Okay? Anybody have any questions on the daisies? They're really not hard. They're really pretty cool. Right? Now, let's play a little bit with the stems. If you want to go with a longer stem, if you're not really liking that, I want to show you the other, I just have to find it. I don't know which one it is. Maybe it's one that was from Celebration and we don't have it. Okay, we're going to use these though. So let's say we want a longer stem to go with what we've got going on here. Got that one. There's some pretty messy. The stamp color for the yellow daisy. What color did I use? Daffodil Delight, both in the cardstock and the ink. And I have to tell you, Daffodil Delight looks really, looks almost like a mustard color. It stamps really pretty though. It doesn't impress me on the cover. And even when you open it, it's got kind of this, but it doesn't look like that though once you stamp it. It's really pretty. First time I saw it, I was like, oh, I don't like you. But I really do like you. I'm going to clean you up a little. Save you. Then we want, did I put Old Olive away? No, it's right here. Don't they? They're so cool. And they're really Brown Eyed Susans, right? Isn't that what they're? So we've got this guy, and we're going to put him down here. And then we're going to go a little bit taller. So we're going to line this up, and we're going to just kind of go in back of it a little. But this is the way stems kind of look, right? Whoops, don't do that. And then you can bring some leaves in and add those there. You can also add, I thought we had, I swear I'm losing my mind tonight. Here it is. You can also do it with this guy. If you don't like the way those combine, you do it with this one. And you can extend your, I'm cleaning my block. Let's see if I can not make a mess. I love the daintiness of the leaves on this. The only problem I have with this one is I'm not sure it's thick enough to do that size daisy. That's why I like I like this one a little bit better with the daisies. But anywho, I can't wait to see what your flowers look like. And that punch is in stock now. It will be coming in and out. It is probably one of the most popular punches until that new catalog comes out September 1st. Make sure you are one of my customers so that you get a free catalog from me. I will be sending these out again like I did the annual. It'll come out, I'll probably do it the 3rd week. Depends on how long it takes me to package them. But make sure you are a customer and you will get it for free. It's not new. It's not replacing what we already have. It's not. This is just the seasonal one. It's the Christmas one, but it's also got, yeah. Oh, Kathy, you're going to love it. It's also got Halloween and Harvest. It's really cool, but it doesn't come out till September 1st. So we're not really going to talk about it, just to tell you that you will get a copy of the catalog to play with if you're a customer. And it's super easy to be a customer.